Hello and welcome back to another speed painting where we are getting right into it. Hello and welcome to my channel where we do speed paintings, talk a lot, and maybe have some discussions. Anyways, so I thought it would be really cool to sort of jump onto one of the trends on Instagram, which is like the Mew, and then it's the I told you we needed more glitter. And I thought that would be really fun to do. So initially I was going to do the piece that I did from last year, the one with changes, and then to do a badass character like persona for the alternative. But I really sort of like that piece, and I don't think I need to do that with this. So I still wanted to do a badass persona, and that is what we continue to do. I just think that it's a mood booster in a way to do this really like cool looking character / version of yourself. So yeah. I did do a badass character before. The inspiration was sort of like god-like or a god persona for yourself. And I do have that, but I'm not too happy with the overall design of it. So I want to make some changes. And that's basically what the video is. It's just me going around making changes and doing research and like deciding what would be a good outfit for this character. When there's two superpowers that I like to think of a lot, it's my Roman Empire, if you will. Molecular manipulation, which I haven't seen Incredibles or heard of Atomic Eve before. I heard about this power, but like I thought it would be a really cool power, especially if you know chemistry, physics, and biology, just because with that knowledge you could do a lot with the ability like making matter or changing matter. So I thought that was really cool. And then the second power is shadow manipulation because it's scary. It's like if you're able to sort of bend and shape shadows and darkness. The human body is essentially a large dark cavern. I wouldn't want to mess with that person, but I imagine that's the ability that I would have if I was a god. It suits me, as people would tell me. But yeah, so that's sort of the direction that we go into. Keep it dark colored, even though, the white and light blue looked really nice. But I thought I'd keep with the dark color scheme, and I just make changes to the outfits. And initially there's like this halo of eyes that is floating around. I decide to change it, keep the band over my eyes to sort of hide sight, because dark and light are completely balanced, and I just feel like for things to be balanced or like just in a way that you can't judge everything by the first thing that you see. So there's that. And then in the case of combat or something, there are floating eyeballs, which thinking back to it now, sort of a bit of a weird concept. Imagine just floating eyeballs constantly hovering overhead and just like sending the feedback to you directly, and you would see things from a whole bunch of different angles, like a fly or something, and how disorienting that might be. But yeah, I thought that was a cool difference in the style. And then I also learned that brush theory is very much real. If you don't know what brush theory is essentially changing up what brush you use digitally or changing up your medium per se and doing the same piece again. It's just the change of medium, and there tends to be an alteration to your art style. Because Medibang had the update and it had so many different brushes in it, I decided to try out a brush, and it was interesting. It has a lot of texture, which is really cool, and it ended up coming out with a different art style that I'm used to, or that I usually do, which is a cool difference, and I didn't mind it at all. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Definitely a style that I would keep for more playful characters like Tiffany, the Purple Witch, or Nicole, the cat person. Just because it feels a bit more playful, or even like my avatar that's, this channel icon, which I haven't changed in like forever. But yeah, that is, yeah, it's a cool style. Definitely would try it again, but I think I will revisit this character design and try to do a more illustrative concept art type thing, like video game concept, just because I think it could still look really cool in a way. And then of course I do play with backgrounds, which isn't something I do often, so this was an interesting change, doing an abstract background, and I definitely want to play around more with backgrounds, which hopefully I'll get time to do this year. But yeah, so like, the other thing too, I always have this debate when I finish sketchbooks, especially in the past like 2 years now, is because I have school things in it, and then I don't know if I am able to just show you guys those things. But I also feel like since it's for school, it shouldn't be a massive issue. But yeah, I am going to go through, because I'm almost done my sketchbook. I'm pretty sure I have 7 pages left. So I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to tab out the things that I'm not able to show to you guys that are school related, and then we'll do a sketchbook tour maybe. I get iffy about doing a sketchbook tour because my sketchbooks are really messy actually, and there isn't a whole lot of finished pieces or spreads, so it sort of makes showing it a bit difficult in a way. The sketchbook, I believe it's numbered. The pages are numbered in the sketchbook. There's about 180 pages, and about like 50% is school projects, so I can't show you, and then it's just a whole lot of sketching because I don't really do final pieces anymore since I'm not a visual artist. That aside though, there are 2 things that comes out from finishing a sketchbook tour, which I will do, and because I feel like we need to show each other the good, the bad, and the dirty. So I feel like I should show you guys the sketchbook and how messy a process could be. And then on top of that, I bought a new sketchbook. I don't know the material of it. Right now it's still wrapped in plastic. But once we open this baby up, I'm going to see if the cover's a good material to decorate. And then we will also do the first spread of the sketchbook, or the first, like the cover page of the sketchbook / thought dumpster. And this will be my professional one, and then maybe we'll also do the cover page of a second sketchbook that I'm going to keep for my more personal stuff. That way you guys can actually have a full sketchbook flip through whenever I'm done a sketchbook. So yeah, one is store-bought, the other one is hand-bound, which I bound by myself. It's not professional at all. I don't professionally bind books, and when I bind books, it's like once every year, not frequent. So I am a bit out of practice, but it doesn't look too bad. So I mean, yeah, can't complain about that. Yeah, I am going to debate between if I want a clean sketchbook and then just having this as my thought sketchbook, but we'll make that decision when the time comes. Yeah. Because the sketchbook I bought is actually it's fairly nice, and then I don't know what to do with the hand-bound one if that's the case, but then I feel like, it's hand-bound and it doesn't look too shabby. So, yeah, it might be really fun just to use that instead. So, it's a coin toss, that's for sure. But yeah, I think I have like 7 more pages of my current sketchbook, and then we move on to something new, which is exciting in a way, especially for me. So yeah, I think in the past year it's been like the quickest that I filled out sketchbooks, and it's been like very nice in a way, but I feel like, man, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm like, what do I even do with all these sketchbooks, because I have so many. Not that I don't face that right now, but I have a limited, I only see, I think, my most recent sketchbooks, like 3 sketchbooks, because the other ones are in Ontario. So yeah, that will be exciting. I don't want to bore you guys with sketchbook talks. That's either for a later video or just maybe never, unless people ask, but I don't know sketchbooks very well. So this is like the wrong place if you want to get educated for things, because I'm more of a wing it and just make shit happen type person, while some people are a bit more precise and knowledgeable in these things. And the other thing to keep in mind too, I tend to use graphite and pens a lot, so I don't need a fancier sketchbook versus someone who does watercolor or gouache or any other paints or charcoal and stuff like that. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind. I could go into it, but I will not right now. I just have 2 very simple sketchbooks that I'm fairly excited. Technically, I have 3. I have another one that I bound, but I try to make it like a closed bookcase hardcover, and it didn't work out that well because I forgot about end pages. What ended up happening was that I actually bound these before I thought about the covers of them, which is a mistake. It's a bad idea because now the covers just are a bit weird. But yeah, so I have a small one. Maybe this would be good for a drawing challenge of sorts though, because like, you know, running this channel and stuff, it might be cool just to have a drawing challenge. I wonder how many pages both of the handbound ones are though. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the handbound one would also be a cool conversation piece. Like whether it's with my classmate or like future like co-workers and whatnot, it might be really cool just to have the handbound one and they'll be like, wow, your sketchbook is a bit different. And I'm going to be like, yeah, because it's handbound. So yeah. I'm not sure where those will go, but we gotta get it done. And then I have paper, which I can then bound another sketchbook. That's something that I like to do. I used to get the, you know, like the standard regular size sketchbook that's like a bit larger than 8.5 by 11 inch paper. I used to get those and I struggled to finish them completely at times. Like last year, I struggled to finish it because I was like, it's not enough for me to carry out a complete project and whatnot, but it's also like not enough just to start new. So what I ended up doing was I tore out pages with the perforation and then I started folding them into pages so that I can make them into signatures and then bookbind them. So then I just have another sketchbook out of it and it's not going to waste. So yeah, bookbinding is actually something that my friend got into, and it's such a funny story. So we both were sort of fascinated by bookbinding at the same time. I think this was like a time of COVID is just clearing up type thing. Anyways, so we were both interested, and like we had our attempts. I did my attempt really poorly. I broke like 3 or 4 embroidery needles because I didn't know better, and this was just like a one time, let me experience it, see what happens. It was that type of situation. So I did that, and then I was so excited to show her that I think I brought it with me to her place where she had ordered us both a kit so then we could get into this together and like try it out together. And now I do it casually, like once in a while when I'm like, oh, I have these pages, I might as well like bind them into a book so then I can use them. She actually wants to make it more seriously and do hand-bound books, so that's a very exciting endeavor, and I want to eventually do branding for her for that. So that's when Chanel has time, Chanel will go and do that. But yeah, so like that's really exciting for her, and I hope it happens. It'll be really exciting, and I will let you guys know when it does. But yeah. And then I have the mini sketchbooks to fill out. I think that will be another drawing challenge to do, because I find an easy way to challenge yourself and push your creativity is just changing the dimension of your sketchbooks. So when you change like the shape and dimension, it can really challenge you as to how to fill it up. And also, like in the case of the mini ones, they're so small and it feels so non-important that I don't feel bad trying new mediums like gouache or pencil crayons or something like that. So like, yeah, it's sort of a good way to break into new mediums, but also have a carefree place to draw and not try to make it look too presentable. So yeah. Anything else? Not really. I've just been busy. I hope that I could keep with the upload so far. Third video in a row, like third weekly video, which is good. It's a surprise for me, kicking off this new year strong. So yeah, it's just I've been trying to figure out how to do camera work and whatnot, and try to make those videos look more polished, because speed paintings will always just stay like this format probably. And I've noticed in my recording things, it's not recording everything in Medibang, so you don't get to see the palette change and brush changes, but you just see the canvas. At least it's still zooming in and out, I guess. But yeah, that's sort of a sucky part, I think. That way, because you guys can't see what colors I'm choosing or what brushes I'm choosing. But it's alright. I want to make the recorded videos from camera a bit more polished though, so that's something that I'm working on, and hopefully that will change styles of videos and offer a second variety for people to look into. But yeah, I also have just been buckling down and really focusing on schoolwork. It's a lot to get done, I felt like, but then I also feel like my teacher's sort of kind of challenging me. The two main instructors that are teaching have been teaching the courses for a long time, and I don't know if it's just because they don't like talk to each other about the second years or something, but I feel like they don't quite know how much we are doing in a way, and I felt terrible. Because we have to be keeping track of our times, and I've been like only clocking out at 25 to 30 hours, and I'm like, man, I'm just not working hard enough. I feel like I need to do more, and I'm not spending enough time on my projects and whatnot. But like most of the classes are around like 20, 25 marks. Anyways, but yeah, I'm just slightly having some questions. It's not like bad questions, it's just how will I execute projects so then they are still good, but I've also not wasted time floundering about. So yeah, I have a project where I have to do a lot of doodles, but we will see what happens with that one, if I either do doodles or I like make vectors or something. But yeah. So I hope you guys do enjoy the piece and the little rant. I've been trying to make videos that are longer just to see what happens and whatnot, and hopefully it's alright. But yeah, coming to the end, this speed painting didn't actually take too long, which is a surprise, but I think it's because of the style. It's a lot simpler than the usual stuff, so can't complain. And And yeah, definitely a style I would go back to again for a different character, or like if I want a different type of piece. And we will revisit this redesign as well, just to make it into a more conceptual piece. A lot of video ideas coming up. I think as I talk, I have some that I need to add to my list. But yeah, it's exciting. Part 2 of this will be interesting, and then, yeah. Because I'm really interested to see with the new brushes, if it helps me with my digital drawing, and I want to get back into digital drawing and illustration as my break time, because I'm addicted to creating and designing and doing art. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Always appreciate you guys commenting and liking the video and just being here and supporting me. You guys are all just very lovely. And I enjoy reading your comments, especially if you guys have advice and stuff. I like reading through them and like letting it open my perspective a bit more. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay warm. It's been really cold. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!